Warning, this video may contain spoilers for the TV show or movie that we discuss in this video. If you have not yet watched the TV show or movie that this video is about, please come back to the video at a later time after you have watched the content that was discussed. You have been warned.
Rising with each beat that the music is bringing, we're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in.
How's it going, everybody? This is Novakast, back with some more video stuff. Doing another quick review, and for this one, it is more so focusing on the Horror of Dracula. Continuing this whole theme of like Halloween, like monster films and this and that, and just actually if anything Halloween themed. So anything that's scary, for that matter, would be a big source. But anyways, so Horror of Dracula, released in the 1958, about just kind of ballparking. Directed by Terence Fisher, and written by Jiminy Sangster and Bram Stoker, the writer of the original book. Stars Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and Michael Gaugh. Just the first names that come up on IMDb. But to an extent, I've always been intrigued by this movie. And I say this because this is one of those films that what has been, I guess, style of films that has been known to, or been kind of called, I should say, Hammer films. Now, for those who don't know what Hammer film is basically a particular style where, I guess, for the most part, if you pay close attention, you notice that a lot of color is kind of almost grayscale, for that matter, but only one color is bright and vibrant, and that is the color red, the color of blood. And I've always been kind of curious about this. In fact, if some people say that I think it was like Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow was a Hammer horror. So to a degree, it shows, especially with how, again, the colors are dialed down in that movie, and the only one that pops up is red. Now, with this, I'm going to say first, I have not read the original story. I have watched the original Bram Stoker's Dracula film, the black and white one, and not Nosferatu, I should clarify. But I have watched Dracula, and I really enjoyed it for what it was back in that time. Same goes for this film, I should say, too. Just to clarify, that I like this film as for something that it was, or how it was presented back in that time. The basic premise, for those who don't know about Dracula is basically a vampire, and he goes, to England and kills people by drinking their blood and possibly turning them into vampires. And we have our few main leads trying to prevent this from happening. All in all, this was, I will say, again, a very intriguing film. I have been told that apparently some of the relationship roles have been reversed for this film. It's been a while since I've seen the first movie to actually, recognize it. So if that was the case, then that's actually pretty cool. Christopher Lee playing as Dracula was honestly really, it was a really good casting choice. And I will say that when it comes down to Dracula itself, when he's first introduced, he's very welcoming, very, I want to say, like, manipulative. He kind of draws you in like a predator. And as soon as we start seeing it more and more of him as the vampire, he's very cunning, very calculating, and to an extent is able to manipulate anybody that he wants, because in the end all he wants to do is suck out the blood out of your body. And throughout of almost every moment with him, he is manipulating people to, basically draw them in, lower their defenses, and then kill them. We have Peter Cushing playing as Van Helsing, who was a lot of fun. By the end, when it comes down to like effects, I guess going through characters are great. Effects, it's the 50s. All I can say is the 50s. I'm not going to give too much talk about the effects other than, it's practical. There's not a lot of effects anyways, but to a degree it's done, well for its time. Other than that, not much else to really, discuss. All in all, I find this to be a fun film, and honestly, it's something that I would recommend a lot of people checking out. And I will say that this is a great experience, because to an extent, with older films like this, you get to see how far we've come from, the craft of like filmmaking and whatnot. So, honestly, I don't want to sound like I'm overselling it, but I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Honestly, I could see Christopher Lee playing as Dracula, and this type of character kind of, if this was a real thing, this kind of person, really, kind of stacking the body, so to speak, with how manipulative and crafty he is. So, 10 out of 10, everybody. I love it. So, with that, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.